What's up? Hopefully you can excuse my appearances today. I'm gonna show you what I'm making tonight. I am actually gonna be making a cheddar cheese broccoli casserole. I'm very excited to try this. Hopefully it'll turn out, but I'm gonna show you what I've done so far. It's gonna be a little bit more casual than most of my videos. I hope you guys enjoy and stick around if you want to see how I make it. I've got some rice cooking. It's just 1 cup of rice that needs to be cooked. Already cut up my chicken. It calls for 3 chicken breasts cut up and cooked. So I cut these up and marinated them last night. They've been marinating all night. I'm gonna go ahead and cook them up, and while I'm doing that, I'm also preheating the oven to 375. Once I cook up this chicken, I will go ahead and chop up the broccoli. I could have done that in retrospect earlier too, but hey, you live and you learn, so let's get it going. First, cold press extra virgin olive oil into my skillet here, and I've got the chicken going. I figured I'd tell you what I marinated the chicken in. I used a half packet of sazon. I also used my garlic and onion salt from the Badia and McCormick brand. I used a little bit of adobo, the light version that has lower sodium. Squeeze a whole lime into the chicken, and then 2 cupfuls of organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, and that was marinating overnight. While this chicken is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and wash up my broccoli and cut that up. So maybe this will be the more professional aspect of it. I'll go ahead and put you on my tripod for my cutting up of the broccoli. All right, that's what it's looking like, y'all. Got 2 little heads of broccoli here. This is what they look like pre-washed. I'm gonna rinse these up, and I'm just gonna cut them all up. It says to use 2 cups, but I will go ahead and just freeze the rest of what I don't use, and I'm gonna wash that and bring you back. So I'm just gonna start off by cutting off the broccoli. Kind of the stem and then the pieces little by little, just to kind of make this a little bit more manageable, I guess you could say. Don't think there's really a rhyme or reason to how you choose to chop this, but this is my method for my madness. I don't know how big the broccoli florets should be, so I'm just gonna cut them up, I don't know, this size. I don't know if that's too big or too small. I don't want them to be invisible. I want it to be visibly broccoli. So that's the problem about following a recipe you've never done before, is you just don't know exactly what the creator had in mind in terms of your ingredient. Oh, y'all, I'm winging it, but I think it'll turn out okay. So I'll come back to you when I'm almost done chopping this. I'm cutting off the edge here. But I plan on using the rest of this core. It's pretty hard towards the bottom of it, but as you move up, it's not so hard. So I'm gonna quarter this, and if you heard that, my oven's telling me that it's ready. I'm not quite ready. So unfortunately you cannot see all the ingredients, but I'll do my best here to show you what it is that I'm doing and what I'm using. It's saying to heat the oven, which we've already done, in a casserole dish right here, to combine the rice, pepper, onion powder, cream of chicken, cheese, broccoli, and chicken stock, as well as the diced chicken. Mix until everything is combined. Make sure I have my oven mitt here, because this literally just came off the rice cooker. I'm gonna go ahead and put my rice nice and tidy here. Just 1 cup of cooked rice. Follow that with the chicken. Got the chicken right here all cooked up. We're gonna throw that in there. Again, this is 3 cooked and diced chicken breasts. So let me go ahead and throw those in there. Nice. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in it says chicken stock, but I actually ended up using some organic vegetable broth that I had left over from a recipe I did last week. I did not want that to go to waste, so I went ahead and I'm using it here. And I'm gonna keep the cup handy because it says 2 cups of broccoli, so I'm gonna use that cup to measure out my broccoli here. And then we have our cream of chicken. This is from the Fit and Active brand from Aldi, the cream of chicken condensed soup. Just want to throw 1 can of that in there. So this is going to add tons of flavor though. So to me, I am not mad at it at all. I did say to use onion powder, but we did season the chicken with onion salt and garlic salt, so I don't want to over salt this. And it's gonna have cheese in it, so that's gonna be plenty of salt in my book. So we're gonna disregard that piece. So let me go ahead and throw in some broccoli here to make sure it equals out to about 2 cups. One moment here. Let's see. So that's about 2.5 cups, but honestly, who's counting? I'm gonna throw that in there. We're gonna give it a nice, good mix to make sure everything is nice and well incorporated. I'd honestly say that this is maybe not even enough broccoli, but we'll give it a go. I'm gonna mix it up and then we'll judge. We'll judge it in a minute. It says cheese, so as far as cheese, it says 1 cup of cheddar cheese. I have Mexican cheese here, or Mexican style cheese from Aldi, so this is 3 cups. I'm gonna go ahead and use the same cup measure to measure out a cup of cheese. 1.5 cups almost, but I don't think anybody's ever complained about too much cheese before, so we're gonna go ahead and go for it. Nice and mixed up. That's looking a little bit more my style now. So I'm gonna come back to you once this is nice and mixed. All right, so this is about as mixed as I think that I'm going to be able to get it, but I'm not complaining, y'all. I'm happy with the way it looks. It's looking like it's gonna be really delicious, at least in my opinion. I did end up throwing a little bit more broccoli in there because I wanted more green in this recipe. It says to cover this with foil, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, let's see. Looks about right. Cover this with foil. And I was never the best at wrapping, y'all, but don't judge. All right, so it sounds to pop it in the oven for 50 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead, get my oven opened up, and get this bad boy in there for 50 minutes, and we'll come and check it out. It is, hold on. It is 5:52, so at about 6:52, I'll pop it out and we'll get going. All right, so the recipe recommends making a crust out of crispy fried onions. These French fried onions is what I'm gonna use, and then some of the cheese to go on top. After it's done baking for 50 seconds, it says to cook it for another 5 minutes with the crust. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. All right, so open it up, nice and fresh. And I'm going to pour, I don't know, maybe half the can. I'm gonna crush it up just a little bit so that it is nice and crumbly and can go over the top of the whole casserole. Give me just a second here. And I think that's fine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put some more cheese on that. I don't know how much more cheese, but we're gonna throw some more cheese on that. So, try and mix this in as best as I can, and then when it is time to put the crust on, I will show you guys. But in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take advantage and get these dishes washed that are waiting for me in the sink, and also the dishes that I created by making this recipe. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. Before I get the dishes going, I just wanted to show you what I did with the leftover broccoli. I just put it in a quart-size freezer bag, labeled it with the date and what it was, and I plan on freezing this to use for soups, casseroles, whatever I want in the future. So just an idea for you to not waste the food. These green beans that I cooked a few days ago and hubby did not want for dinner that day that I want to pair with tonight's dinner. They have been in the fridge and they're pretty much fully cooked, but I'd like to boil them again so that they can get reheated, fully cooked through, and then I'm gonna add some seasonings because hubby said it was a little bit bland, but that's a good optional side for you to pair this with if you want even more greens in your dish. So I'm gonna get that going and I'll insert the footage of when it was cooking the last time. So I ended up deciding to cook some green beans to go on the side of this. So that's the green beans right there. They're looking nice and fresh. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and then I'm gonna strain it and we're gonna get eating. I'm excited. Okay, so the green beans have boiled. I threw a hot pepper in there to boil with them because my husband wanted that on the side. Casserole is out and this foil is hot, so I'm gonna keep my oven mitts on. Maybe I'll just use this one. This one has more control. So I'm gonna lift this off and it looks good to me. I like it. I like the way it looks. There's a little broccoli stuck to the top of this foil, so I'm gonna carefully, oh, it's actually not so hot, so I'm gonna carefully just get him out of there. There he goes. I'm just gonna mix it up because it looks like some sides have a little more than others, and I probably should have greased this pan because there's stuff stuck to it, but that's okay. We live and we learn, but I still think it's gonna be good, so go ahead and get this going. Like I said, if you try this, make sure you grease your pan. So we're gonna go ahead and top it with this topping here. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over top as, ooh, that kind of clumped up together, as best as I can, and hopefully you're seeing that. There's the crust right there. We're gonna spread it out. I'm just gonna pour it and then we'll spread it. About a cup of the onion and I guess maybe a cup to half a cup of cheese. I'm gonna pop that back in the oven for 5 more minutes and then it'll be ready to go. To mention, you wanna bake this uncovered, so just so that you know, you bake this uncovered for the last 5 minutes. Okay, y'all, so this is what it ended up looking like. I personally think it looks pretty doggone good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to cut it up, plate it, and then I'll show you guys the image. Then I'll show you guys the result. Y'all, so this is what it ended up turning out like. I'm really excited to see what it tastes like. I think it came out delicious. My husband said it looks really good, so if this ends up being a winner, I know what I'll be making a little bit more often these days. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what other kind of dishes you'd like me to make. If you have any recipes, go ahead and put them down below. I'll try to link this recipe down below, but if I don't, go ahead and leave me a comment and I will be sure to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to check out my other videos. Give this one a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.